Ah, gente, não dá, então deixa quieto. I think I'm live. I'm Teacher Prix and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. If you can hear me, say yes. I'm trying to go live on YouTube, but for some reason, things are not working out, you know? I tried to go live on Instagram. It didn't work out. Let's go again. Let's see one more time. You know, maybe I'll be lucky and for some reason it'll work out. But I think Instagram has got an issue today because I'm trying nothing. Nothing. All right, it's okay. Life goes on. If you guys can hear me well here on YouTube, let me know. Tell me here in the chat. Can you hear me well? Because that way I know that you guys are here and everything is working out, okay? Now, what are we gonna do in this MeetUp Wednesday? Every Wednesday, we're gonna have a different style of live lesson. Very practical with some activities for you guys to do with PDF file. Yes, we have some surprises for you. And in tonight's lesson, we are gonna help you achieve listening mastery. Yes, you're gonna master your listening skills so that you can understand your favorite movies, so that you can understand people in English, so that you can understand podcasts and more people, not just Teacher Pricks. Of course, that I'm not gonna do this in 1 hour, but I'm gonna give you the steps. I'm gonna give you strategies so that by the end of this lesson, you know what to do, you know how to keep going. Now, let's see. Listening mastery, that's the focus of tonight's lesson. Understand native speakers faster by practicing your listening this way, okay? And I forgot to change the hashtag. Let's see if I can do this now. Okay, because we have a different hashtag today. All right. Now, guys. First of all, as I always ask you guys, if you're new around here, then you will understand. I want to know who you are. Are you a newbie? Are you a BSA? Or are you a regular? That way I identify what kind of student I'm dealing with. So a newbie is someone who is here for the first time. So type in the chat if you are a newbie, okay? So you never watched me before. Maybe it's your first live. So let me know here, hashtag newbie. And if you are catching the replay, do the same. I want to know who you are, okay? If you are a regular, then your hashtag is hashtag regular, okay? So hashtag regular. That means you already know me, you watch some lessons, maybe you catch my live lessons, so you are part of the family, you know? And the BSA are my students. They are in my online program, the Real English Academy. We swim together because I call my students BSA, baby sardines in the area. Sardines stay together. We swim together in the direction of fluency. So if you are a BSA watching live or the replay, let me know in the chat, okay? And in the comments as well. I know that some students watch the replay because of time zone and stuff. So let's get cracking. Now, guys, MeetUp Wednesday. So let me explain the MeetUp Wednesday. Oh, where are my slides, by the way? Because I have my slides for tonight, you know? Now, guys, the MeetUp Wednesdays will always be special. I will always have something special for you on Wednesdays, okay? So that's hashtag MeetUp Wednesday. Now, in today's first meetup, we are going to talk about listening. We are going to have exercise, okay? So pencil, paper, headphones, because you're going to need them. And for tonight's lesson, I also prepared a PDF file. Guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I know the number, 8 pages. PDF file with extra information, important information from the lesson that I will share with you guys. So it's the MeetUp Wednesday. I'm giving you a lot of free content, okay? But how do you get access to the PDF file? Only if you are in my Telegram group. If you're not in my Telegram group, you are not going to get it, okay? The link to my Telegram group is in the description of this video. You will find the link, and when you join, I will send this PDF file after the class. When the class is over, we'll send you the PDF file. Today is not grammar in action. I was at the doctor today, so I arrived like 5 minutes ago. So everything was ready, but I was at the doctor. MeetUp Wednesday, listening mastery. So I'm fixing the title here. Oh no, it's too big. Let's see. So let's just leave MeetUp Wednesday. Okay. All right, sounds good. MeetUp Wednesday. Okay, so I will give you the password as well. So to open the file, there is a password, and I will give the password during the class, okay? So you have to stay and watch and participate because you will be able to download the PDF file on Telegram, and then there is a password, and you can't open if you don't have a password, okay? So this is my file, okay? So that's the special stuff for tonight. And remember, take a screenshot and post on your stories. Tag me, Teacher Prix. That way I know you're studying, you're working hard. It'll be awesome to share your story with my friends on Instagram, with my followers. So it'll be great. Really, really, really great. Now, guys, that being said, let's get to work, right? Now, my friends, before I give you the practical activities and instructions to help you master your listening practice, we need to understand why your listening is not improving. So I invite you to participate here in the chat and tell me. And you can tell me in the comments as well. I read the comments. I may not answer, but I read the comments, okay? Why is your listening not improving? Why do you think your listening is not getting to the way you want it to get, okay? So here, I set aside 3 reasons. There could be more reasons, okay, guys? But I'm going to be objective in this lesson, and I will focus on 3 particular reasons that could explain why your listening is not getting any better. So the first reason is the way you practice, the way you practice your listening activity, your listening comprehension. And we're going to talk a lot about this, I'm going to bring you some good stuff here to help you understand. So the way you practice. And right now, even though this lesson is 100% in English, and I'm only speaking English, this is not necessarily a listening practice, okay? Because a listening practice will involve different kinds of activities. That's why you need to pay attention to this lesson, because I'm going to give you important information to help you improve your listening practice so that you can understand those people you want so much. And today we're going to listen. You're going to listen to native speakers tonight, okay? So stay with me. Now, the second reason is consistency, okay? Let's say you follow my idea tonight and you begin to implement my recommendations, but after a week, you have a frozen moment. Let it go. Let it go. So how do you expect to improve if you are inconsistent with your practice? So do you get what I'm saying? So being consistent will not only help you improve your listening, but it'll help you improve every aspect of the language. And guys, you know me, I'm always talking to you guys about personal things, personal development, improving yourself, becoming a better person, maximizing your time, your results, and being consistent will slow down every aspect of your life. So if you feel like your listening skill is stuck, then we need to take a look at your calendar, How often do you practice your listening the right way? Because as I just said in point number 1, perhaps the way you're doing your listening practice right now is not the way you should be practicing your listening so that you can get efficient results. And that is connected to number 3. Actually, these reasons are connected because number 3 talks about following the virtuous cycle or circle, okay? And basically, when you sit down to do a listening practice, there are other activities involved if you want to master your listening. And this is something that I come here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Well, not tonight because I don't know what happened to Facebook. It's not working out. But I often come here and I'm always, I should switch to always because I'm constantly talking to you guys about the importance of combining different activities. And yet, I get emails and comments and messages from students, from you guys, telling me the opposite, telling me about routines that do not necessarily respect what I recommend. Okay? Now, Robson says, mine is improving. That is awesome. I'm happy you are improving. You are my BSA after all. But here he says, oh, look, I must be more consistent in my listening practice. Awesome. So it's nice that you understand that, Robson, because we need to be conscious. We need to be aware that sometimes the problem is not here. Because sometimes we feel, oh, my listening, there is a problem with my ears. No, there's no problem with your ears. Perhaps it's a different area in your life. Maybe it's your consistency. Maybe it's the virtuous cycle that will combine different aspects of the language. And that is why you're probably not getting the results you want. You could be getting even more if you applied a virtuous cycle, a consistent plan. So that is a very important point, okay? And if you are my BSA on Facebook, there are many challenges that you can do that include listening. Just last month, we had a movie challenge, okay? So try it out. I'm sure you're going to like it, okay? Now, Maria says, because I'm not consistent enough. So I see the consistency. All right. So, guys, I tell you based on my professional experience. I talk to English learners all the time from different places, from different countries, and they all share the same stories, okay? Oh, I'm inconsistent. Oh, I practice on the way to work. And as a result, they don't get any better. And then they feel like, oh, but I never improve. Well, let's take a look at your practice, shall we? And here we have some examples of bad listening practice. So, for instance, using movies to measure your listening ability without any preparation. Now, guys, and here I think I talk about this I talk about this somewhere because I prepare lots of things. Let's see, where did okay. I may talk about it again, okay, because I really need to repeat this piece of information. Okay, I know you want to understand movies. I hear this all the time. If I got $1 every time a student said, teacher, I want to understand movies, I would be rich, yeah. I would be super rich. I have money here in front of me. Let's see. I would be rich. But that's not how it goes. If you want to improve your movie comprehension, there are other activities. The preparation needs to be changed, okay? So that you can finally sit down, watch a movie, and enjoy the experience and be able to understand. So here, the bad practice example is you expect to improve your listening by watching the movie, but you don't have any method, okay? You don't have a method. A few minutes ago, I just told my BSA from my online program, the Academy, that I gave a movie challenge. But I have a method where I show my students how to use movies. And I gave them this challenge so that they could have a good experience while watching movies, practicing their English, and improving their listening comprehension. So it's not simply turning on Netflix and expecting to magically improve your listening, okay? Now, because if that were the case, we wouldn't need teachers, okay? Because today you can watch Netflix, you can watch Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, you can check everything. You wouldn't need me to give you lessons, to give you instructions, to give you strategies, okay? So that is a very important thing. Now, another thing that happens, and this may be with different materials, not only movies, you could be expecting to understand a 1-hour audio, maybe a podcast. You know, I think this is really connected with podcasts or maybe videos on YouTube that are really long, not necessarily 1 hour, but maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But again, without the proper preparation. So same problem and same lack of method, okay? If you're trying to improve your listening comprehension, you don't go straight to what you want to do, which is to understand a 1-hour video, a 1-hour podcast. You need better strategies that are more efficient to help you get there. It's just as the marathon example. If I want to run a marathon, I cannot run a marathon every day. First, because it would be really hard on my body. And second of all, if I don't run a marathon and I want to get there, I need the proper training. Different kinds of activities, not just running on the street. So you see, it's the same idea, the same concept in different aspects of our lives. And with languages, it will not be any different, okay? Now, another bad listening practice example, it is to pause too much. Some students, they do their listening practice and they begin listening and then they're like, up, pause. No, pause. It's the listening practice. And then they keep pausing and pausing and pausing and pausing and pausing. There is no pause button in real life, you know? You won't find a button in a person, hey, pause, Prix. Go back, resume. Well, maybe at home because you're watching on YouTube, then you can pause me. Okay, that's fine. But in real life, if you were in front of me, you wouldn't be able to touch my nose and pause me. Teacher, excuse me. No, that doesn't exist. So if your practice involves a lot of pausing, then probably your listening is not going to improve. That's why, again, we go back to the previous points. If you choose the wrong material, if you don't have a method, then your listening comprehension exercise will be a mess, okay? Now, another thing, not taking notes. Okay, I know some students are extremely resistant when it comes to writing down, taking notes. And guys, again, at the end of the day, you need it. You need to combine different activities. And taking notes while you're listening is important. And this is connected with the next point, summarizing ideas. It's not just listen and magically expect to remember everything. This afternoon, I was watching a video in English to practice my listening and learn something new because I combined both. And I had to repeat the video 3 times. Was it because my listening is bad? No, it's a lot of information. So I had to watch. Then after I finished, I took some notes. I paid attention to what I was writing down. I summarized the main ideas. And then I listen again, and then I listen again. It was practice time, not entertaining time, okay? Like, let's have fun time. So there's a difference between these guys. So if you don't pay attention to the way you practice your listening will constantly be stuck, no matter how hard you try, okay? Now, the next point, listening on the go. And what is to listen on the go? I will teach you this expression. It's a new expression. I will go to the next slide and then I'll return. Listening on the go. On the go is the expression of the day, okay? So on the go means that someone is always very busy or very active, okay? So Teacher Prix is always on the go. It's hard to find her at home. It's hard to find her. It's hard to talk to her because she's always on the go. So when you are always on the go, it means you are always busy, okay? You're constantly busy, you're constantly active, you don't stop, okay? So are you on the go? Are you always on the go? Tell me here in the chat, are you always on the go? Yes or no? So, are you always on the go? Hashtag yes, hashtag no. I want to know here in the chat. Are you always on the go? And in the meantime, I can drink some water. So come on, tell me here in the chat. Are you always on the go? Leah says no, so good for you, Leah. So then you will have some time to practice the English skills, you know. That's good, good. Maria says yes. Marcia says no. She's not always on the go. Okay, that's good to know. Not always on the go, so you can change your listening practice. Alien says yes. Oh my God. Hobson says yes. Always on the go. Jessica, kinda. Okay. So yeah, we have different styles here. Houston, yes, always. Marcia says always. Oh my goodness. So you're a busy bee. It's okay if you're always on the go. But here, as you can see on the screen, there is a woman shopping. Okay, she's grocery shopping. That's what she's doing now. And at the same time, she is listening. She's listening and she is shopping. She's buying chocolate. That is fun. Is she practicing her listening comprehension so that she can find... I think I'm back. Okay, I'm back. So I want to know here in the chat, is this woman on the picture buying chocolate or is she practicing her listening skills? I will read your answers. She's buying chocolate. Exactly, Maria. Very nice. What do you think, guys? Participate. She's buying chocolate. Exactly, Marcia. Exactly, Akko. She is buying chocolate. And if you think she's practicing her listening, there's a very good chance your listening is not improving because you follow this kind of practice. Because you think, wow, I can go running and I can also practice my listening because that is going to be perfect. When in reality, you're not. You are paying attention to the things you have to do. Maybe you're running, so you're going to be running. Maybe you're buying chocolate, so you're going to be buying chocolate. And this is a big problem English learners have. Okay, so this is a very complicated situation that students have, and they have to be very careful about. Okay, now going back to the previous slide. The next thing, not checking the vocabulary. This is why the longer the audio or video you watch, the more complicated it gets, okay? So not checking the vocabulary you learn, the vocabulary you watch, the new vocabulary you learn when watching a movie, when listening to a podcast, or even when watching me, well, this will impact your results because there you are, you keep listening, but you never check the new words, you never check new expressions, new verbs, and then when you finish, you have that feeling of frustration because you feel like, oh man, another day where my listening sucked. And when we take a look at the bad practice you have, you don't check vocabulary, okay? So that is a very complicated problem. And here, the next point is not dividing your practice into general and detail. And that is one thing that I'm going to teach you now, that I'm going to teach you in this lesson, and we're going to practice together, okay? Together and never, and never will love you. I don't know how to sing the song, okay? So I create words, fake words. We are the word. All right. So not dividing your practice into general and detail. And I will explain general and detail to you guys. You will learn, okay? Now, very important, as I was explaining here before, when listening to practice your comprehension, do not pause. I would rather you repeated the audio 100 times if you want. Remember, this is not a recommendation from me, but I would rather you repeated the audio more times than keep pausing it all the freaking time, okay? Remember, balance is key. I like to give my students in the academy, for example, objective audio exercises, and I give them recommendations of how much they should repeat an audio. But I prefer that you repeat more times than keep pausing all the time. Because in the real world, there's no pause button. Okay, excuse me. So you can't do that. You can't find a button to pause. Okay? So there's no pause button. So you need to work on your listening practice by listening and, if necessary, repeating again and again and again. Because it's your listening practice. It's not real life conversation. It is important to have this moment when you focus on repeating the audio, doing different kinds of activities, and eliminating the constant pausing is important, okay? And I have found many English learners who do that because they don't think it's a problem. They think it's okay, I pause, so it's fine, it's all right. And hey, if you're enjoying this lesson, value, okay? This is our hashtag, all right? So if you think this lesson is teaching you something important, is teaching you something useful, we have a hashtag for that. And you can type value, hashtag value. That way I understand that what I'm teaching you now is helping you some way, somehow, and you are learning something that you will be able to implement. This is not just a lesson for you. Oh, okay, that was nice. No, I want you to change the game. I want you to master your listening activity, just like Rubia said value, Alan said value, Maria. And if you were watching, hey, come on, participate. If you're learning something different here, participate and post value, because then I know that I am in the right direction as well. Now, focusing on general and detail. What is that? General means that when you're listening to an audio for the first time, you are going to have a specific goal, okay? And this is interesting because when my sister was younger, she was my student, okay? And I basically applied my method on her so that she could learn to speak English. And she had a very difficult listening comprehension. Her listening skill was not improving. And then one day I sat down to talk to her. I was like, okay, let's talk. What's going on? What happens in your brain when you're listening? And then I understood. When she started listening, her focus was on trying to get every single word. And when she didn't understand one word or maybe a phrase, she would freeze. Her brain would melt because she was so bad because she hadn't understood a word that she wouldn't be able to pay attention to the rest of the audio or of the video. So when you're practicing your listening comprehension, you need to have very specific goals each time you listen to the audio. Okay, so let's say you're going to listen to the same audio 5 times. Let's say you want to listen to the audio 5 times. That's why you need to choose a short one. When you first start listening, your first immediate goal is to understand the minimum. Yes, just a general idea. If I play an audio right now for you, you don't need to understand everything. That is not the goal. The goal is to get situated. Oh, okay, so this audio is talking about dark chocolate. Minimum, okay? That's the focus. And you can stay in this aspect once, twice, 3 times, no problems, until you feel comfortable with the main idea, with the general idea of the audio. That's why I insist that your audio should be shorter so that you can be more efficient with your time. Because let's be honest, if you don't have 7, 6, 8 hours a day to study, which I believe you don't, you need to be smart with your listening practice. Because after all, you have different kinds of activities to do. So choose a short audio because you will need to repeat that audio, but not 140, 30 times, okay? Not that. So your main focus, your mission impossible? Not impossible, totally possible, is to focus on listening for main ideas, for general, okay? You don't need to focus on every single detail because from the moment you start doing that, your brain freezes, okay? So that is very, very, very important. So do you understand that? Do you understand what general listening is? Hashtag yes if you understand, okay? If you understand what general listening is, tell me here in the chat, hashtag yes, because after that I will give you an exercise. And if you are wondering why I ask you guys to participate in the chat, as a master practitioner of neurolinguistic programming, I am constantly trying to find ways to activate my students' brain, this beautiful machine in your mind, in your head, this beautiful organ. Because when you are here checking with me, repeating information, participating, you are creating a better memory, okay? So this is very important. And as Marcia said, I'm taking notes. That is amazing. It's easier to memorize important information. You create a better connection, an emotional connection. So when you say, oh, teacher, when I talk to you, when I gave you the example, is she buying chocolate or is she practicing her listening? I create a funny example to make you create a better emotional connection. We remember things we feel, okay? We feel. When we feel, we learn, okay? Awesome. So many people here. Okay, Anastasio, nice to see your comment. Murphy, okay, I don't know if I'm reading your name correctly. Josette, excellent. Marcos. Sophie, that is wonderful. So it's time to get to the practice, and I will explain. You will need paper, okay? You will need paper. And scissors. No scissors. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to listen to a 1-minute audio. I will not tell you what it is about, okay? You have to take notes. I will repeat this audio twice. So you will listen once, and then you will listen again, and then you will post here in the chat for me what the main idea is. A short sentence. You don't need to explain the entire thing. So are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. All right, so I'm going to get started.
Shopping online can really speed up your gift-getting process, but before you start clicking away, keep these 3 tips in mind. Number 1, make sure you're shopping on a secure website. When you're making a purchase, look for the security lock and the letters HTTPS in the web browser when you submit your credit card for purchase. Tip number 2, don't click on unsolicited links. If you go shopping on an unfamiliar website and you start seeing pop-up ads and links, stay away from them. They can only lead you to bad and unfamiliar places. And number 3, check the privacy policy of a website before you buy anything on that site. That policy is not exciting, but it could tell you if your personal information will be sold by that company to other companies. And a bonus tip for you, be careful about shopping and sharing your personal or financial information over an unsecured network like a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat this audio again, okay, twice. If you were at home studying by yourself, you could repeat this audio more times. But for the purpose of this lesson, I will repeat it one more time. But after the lesson is over, you can go back, repeat again, try it again, so that you can have a better experience, okay? So let's go, let's listen one more time.
Shopping online can really speed up your gift-getting process, but before you start clicking away, keep these 3 tips in mind. Number 1, make sure you're shopping on a secure website. When you're making a purchase, look for the security lock and the letters HTTPS in the web browser when you submit your credit card for purchase. Tip number 2, don't click on unsolicited links. If you go shopping on an unfamiliar website and you start seeing pop-up ads and links, stay away from them. They can only lead you to bad and unfamiliar places. And number 3, check the privacy policy of a website before you buy anything on that site. That policy is not exciting, but it could tell you if your personal information will be sold by that company to other companies. And a bonus tip for you, be careful about shopping and sharing your personal or financial information over an unsecured network like a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Okay, okie dokie. Now we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna ask you questions about the general idea. As usual, before we go to the next part and I tell you what the general idea is, as usual, my motto is to give, to help, and expand. If you don't know me very well, if it's your first time watching this video, I always share with my students my motto, the thing that I believe in my life and I try to follow, which is to give come here, give these lessons from Monday to Friday to you guys, prepare the contents, prepare the PDF files, prepare presentations, prepare exercises like this. Because when I'm giving these lessons for you guys, I am helping you. I'm helping millions of people from all over the world get the best English lessons from me. And by doing that, I become a better person. I expand. I become a better teacher. I become a better student. I become a better YouTuber. And I expand my knowledge, my personal knowledge, my professional knowledge. So when I give, when I help, I grow too. And when you share this lesson with your friends, which is what I'm asking you to do now, when you share this lesson with 2 special people, go on your WhatsApp, send this message to a friend. Hey, this teacher is crazy, but she really helps you learn English, follow her. You are following the same motto that I believe: giving, helping, expand. Okay? So by doing that, you're awesome. You can subscribe as well. Hit the like button. I really appreciate when you guys do that because it is awesome. All right? So make sure to share. All right? So give, help, expand. Very nice. Now, moving on. The audio is about, what is the audio about? Tell me now. Robinson says the main topic, the main subject, the man is talking, okay, the man, okay, I understand now. The man is talking about safety when shopping online, how we have to be careful when shopping online. You nailed it, okay? So when I say you nailed it, it's an expression. You did it correctly, exactly how you should have done. So you nailed it, Hobson. Excellent job. SSS, be careful when doing online shopping. All right, excellent. He's talking about some tips to purchase online. Your CC, what's CC? Your CC should be secure. Your credit card, okay? Yeah, credit card. Your credit card should be secure and avoid being stolen, so that your personal information is secured and safe. Okay. Who else? Tell me more. Okay. I want to know. So you guys got the main idea. Very nice. Island, you didn't understand the exercise because you're giving me the tips. I asked you for general. I didn't ask for details. So you see, when we listen to an audio, follow the instruction. Follow the exercise. First, you focus on general. You get better at focusing on general information. And why is that? Maybe today this 1 minute audio was easy for you. That's awesome. But in the future, it's going to get longer and longer. That's why we build up this skill so that you become familiar with getting an idea for all kinds of material, so that by the time you listen to a 10-minute video, you immediately understand what the main concept of the material is, because some students get really lost. Okay? So they give 3 tips for shopping online, and that's it. No spoilers, okay? Now, Rubia, shopping online is a way to spend, to speed your purchase, okay? But you have to take some precautions. That's it. You stop there. That's the main idea. Shopping online is amazing. It speeds up your purchase, but you have to be careful. You have to take some precautions. So that is general. And guys, the things that Rubia did and Aileen did, they're common, okay? Some students, they don't know how to tell the difference between general and detail. And as the material gets more difficult and longer and more complex, it is important to understand that. And why is that important? Perhaps you go to a job interview and they give you a listening test. Okay, because they want to test your listening. And these are very common questions they give. Okay, in tests, maybe you go to another country and you want to participate in a lecture, or you go and you're going to study abroad. Okay, so it's important to do that. Maybe you are watching a video to practice your listening and then you feel bad because you don't understand, but you didn't divide your listening practice. So this is a very important point. Okay, so Marcia, repeat it again, but tell me if you got the main idea. The main idea is 1 sentence, okay? It's not everything. This is what I'm trying to teach. When you listen for general idea, it's 1 piece of information that is the focal point of the listening practice, of the material you're listening to. Whether it is a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video or a 1-hour video, it is the same concept. They follow the same pattern. There is always a focal point that the speaker will always go back to. And that's your mission with this audio, okay? Understanding the difference between general, and now I'll be talking about detail. I'll also be explaining detail listening, okay? Marcos, what the author is trying to tell us is to be careful with online shopping, with online buying on the internet. So online shopping and tips to help you shop safely. So that's basically what the audio is about, okay? You don't need to understand at this moment, you don't need to understand anything else, okay? Now let's keep moving. Now, detail, on the other hand, is different. This is the moment when you have to get down to work and really focus on specific pieces of information. And that's when the conflict starts. Because if you think about it, listening to a 1-hour video will be extremely difficult, okay? If you don't have the right preparation. If you don't build this muscle of listening to a 1-hour audio and learning how to listen for details, you will never be able to do that because you don't start small. That's why when you listen for details, it has to be a short audio. Otherwise, you are never building the skill to listen to longer audios, okay? So my point is not to make you stay forever listening to 1-minute audios. My point is to help you build up the strength, the listening strength, so that you understand how to get detailed information, details more easily, more quickly, okay? So you will gradually build up the length of the audios you listen to, okay? So I know your ultimate goal is to listen to movies, audios, talk to people in English and understand them, but you need to do the work in the background, and this will involve shorter audios, shorter exercises that will be more efficient, okay? Now, I have an example of this. A few weeks ago, a BSA, a student from my academy, her name is Virginia. Hello, Virginia. She sent me a message and she said, teacher, I can understand movies, I can understand songs, I can understand my favorite personal trainer. Jillian Michaels is an American personal trainer. She's very famous. And my BSA in my academy can understand her now. And what does she do inside the academy? Well, she follows the virtuous cycle, and she has specific activities to help her work on general, to help her work on detail. She has different kinds of subjects like this one, online shopping. Completely different from what we usually listen. It's not just me speaking English to teach English, but a listening practice. And building up her skills, her listening skills, her listening muscle, she can now understand her movies, the movies she likes so much, the songs she likes so much, and her favorite trainer, Jillian Michaels. I like Jillian Michaels as well. Nowadays I follow Sydney Cummings, but I occasionally watch Jillian Michaels as well. And much more. I'm basically quoting what she sent to me. And this can happen to you if you begin to understand the difference between general and detail, okay? Awesome. Now, do you understand detail? The difference between general and detail? If you understand, tell me yes. If you don't understand, tell me no. My goodness. Jeez, I gotta speed up. Okay. If you understand, hashtag yes. Remember that here in this meetup, we gotta participate and work hard in the chat. So Rubia says yes. That is awesome. Who else? Leah, Maria, Marcia, that is wonderful. In future practices, and if you understand, keep telling me yes, because I want to check. The next time you listen to something in English, focus on this, general detail, okay? That's a very important way, a very efficient way to practice your listening skill. Now, all right, I see more yeses. That's awesome. Now, guys, basically, what does the detail mean? It's time to be curious, George. Curious George is a very curious monkey. It's a cartoon, okay? And he is very cute. He's very curious. He wants to know what's happening. So he's a curious monkey. So here, when you're listening for detail, it's time to focus on specific information. But this is not dictation. You are not supposed to understand 100% of all the single words they say. That's not what I'm trying to teach. I want you to focus on keywords, short sentences, important numbers. Maybe, 30% of Americans shop online. He didn't say that, but 30% of Americans shop online, that's detail. That's specific information. So try to understand that. It's a short phrase, not an entire paragraph. Important names. President Barack Obama gave an important announcement. President Barack Obama, he said something. Okay. Detail, important names, important actions. Okay. Repeat the audio more times, but no pausing. Okay. You can remember more time. You can repeat more times, but don't pause. No pausing. Okay. So be a curious monkey. Be curious, George. And guys, as I said, and I'm going to repeat this again, but teacher, I want to watch movies in English. I want to understand Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt. I want to understand Angelina Jolie. These are the people I want to understand, not you, girl. Well, I know. To understand movies, you gotta do the work. Guys, I come here with passion to tell you this. The ones who can hear this, hear me out. When I say this, I'm saying this based on experience, based on BSA, my babies, my sardines who are improving their English, improving their listening because they're following my recommendation. So if you want to get to the movies, to the podcast, to the TV shows, to the crazy things you want to watch, you got to do the work, okay? Inside the academy, for example, I give my babies the right kind of listening activities, but I also give them extra activities inside our group on Facebook. So they have different challenges. Last month or 2 months ago, I don't remember, I gave them a movie challenge, and I worked on specific movie parts and worked on detail. I really worked on detail in this challenge. I will repeat this challenge in the future. I will go back to movies, okay, guys? So don't worry. BSA, there will be more movie challenges in the future. Because my goal is to help you understand general and detail. And the better you get at detail, the easier it gets for you to understand movies. But this has to start small, okay? So when I give my babies the movie challenge, I don't work 100%, I don't use 100% of the movie. I choose specific parts of the movie, okay? Now we're gonna practice again. I'm gonna play the audio twice more, and you're going to focus on the detail. And here I have 4 questions for you. What is tip number 1? What is tip number 2? What is tip number 3? And what is the bonus tip? Okay, so that is the goal tonight. Let's get started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. All right, let's go.
Shopping online can really speed up your gift-getting process, but before you start clicking away, keep these 3 tips in mind. Number 1, make sure you're shopping on a secure website. When you're making a purchase, look for the security lock and the letters HTTPS in the web browser when you submit your credit card for purchase. Tip number 2, don't click on unsolicited links. If you go shopping on an unfamiliar website and you start seeing pop-up ads and links, stay away from them. They can only lead you to bad and unfamiliar places. And number 3, check the privacy policy of a website before you buy anything on that site. That policy is not exciting, but it could tell you if your personal information will be sold by that company to other companies. And a bonus tip for you, be careful about shopping and sharing your personal or financial information over an unsecured network like a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Okay, so I will repeat it one more time.
Shopping online can really speed up your gift-getting process, but before you start clicking away, keep these 3 tips in mind. Number 1, make sure you're shopping on a secure website. When you're making a purchase, look for the security lock and the letters HTTPS in the web browser when you submit your credit card for purchase. Tip number 2, don't click on unsolicited links. If you go shopping on an unfamiliar website and you start seeing pop-up ads and links, stay away from them. They can only lead you to bad and unfamiliar places. And number 3, check the privacy policy of a website before you buy anything on that site. That policy is not exciting, but it could tell you if your personal information will be sold by that company to other companies. And a bonus tip for you, be careful about shopping and sharing your personal or financial information over an unsecured network like a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Okay, we are done. Awesome. So post here the 4 tips, okay? 4 tips that you were able to understand. I want to see your answers. Okay. So what are the tips? Tip number 1, tip number 2, tip number 3, and bonus tip. Post here in the chat. I'll be waiting a few more seconds. No one wants to post the tips. Oh my goodness. Probably you guys are probably typing. Probably typing. And I have to go. I gotta get cracking. Now, as I said, I prepared a PDF file for you guys. And to open the PDF file, we have a password. And the password is #listening. That's it. #listening, as you can see here on the screen all along. So that's the password, #listening, okay? So Alan says, number 1, look for security websites, check the HTTPS browser, don't click on unfamiliar links, check privacy policy, and bonus tip, be careful sharing personal information with no secured Wi-Fi hotspots. Okay, that's nice. Let's check privacy. Number 2, what is number 2? Okay, number 3, make sure you're shopping on a secure website. Excellent, Island. So you see, you understood the details. So if today I had to analyze your listening practice, you listen to a native speaker. Okay, Alan. You listen to a native speaker speaking for a minute. It was an objective audio. And in this audio, he talked in English about a completely different subject from English. And you understood. So you see that when you follow the right method, things work. That's what I mean. Maria, check security of the website. Don't click on unfamiliar pages. Check the privacy policy before buying. Don't share your personal information. Now, I could get into more details. This is something that I ask my BSA. For example, in number 3, I would ask why. Why do you need to check the policy before buying? And he explains in the audio. He explains why you should check the policy. This is the detail of the detail. Rubia, check the website if it's safe. Don't click on unsolicited links, pop-up links, okay? Check privacy before you buy, and be careful if the website won't share your personal or financial information. Yes, that's the bonus tip. Okay, excellent. Keep posting because I will read the comments after the video is over. Now, as usual, take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram stories. Don't send me a message. Tag me on stories. Tag at Teacher Prix. Hashtag is listening. Take a screenshot as you can see here on the screen. You can take a screenshot now. Let me give you a smile. Let me fix this messy hair. Don't care. So basically, today, you have learned how to understand native speakers by learning how to practice your listening comprehension the right way. Today, you learned about general and detailed listening. You learned the reasons why your listening comprehension is not improving. I gave you 3 reasons why. It was a really nice meetup. We chatted a lot here on the chat, on YouTube Live. So now, I want you to help me get on Instagram, on stories, tag me, take a screenshot and tag me. Now, Marcia, it's normal. That's why I said pay attention to what I said before. If you don't get it the first time, you have to do it again and then again and again and again. That's why I call it listening practice. That's why it's 1 minute. This is going to happen to students. It is intentional, okay? So you have to listen again, one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. That's why here I can't do that because I have to go. But this is what you should be doing at home, not only with this audio, but with all of them, okay? Now, guys, share this lesson with your friends and tag me on Instagram stories. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.